Greetings. This is Amy Wentley with Chai Knuckles Knitting, and this is episode 2013, The Baby Surprise Jacket Decreases. So I'm taking a little hiatus from teaching at the Hillsborough Yarn Shop because of the pandemic. So I'm now hosting a Baby Surprise Jacket class on Zoom. And so this video is to help out the students in that class with various parts of the pattern. So this video, number 13, is going to focus on decreases. There also is a video 14, which is on increases, and 15, which will talk about changing colors for stripes. So let's get on with this one. For the decreases, in the Baby Surprise Jacket, you're going to be doing increases and decreases at marked stitches in 2 places in the pattern. And so this is going to represent my work. In the pattern, right off the bat, they ask you to place 2 markers. For the baby size, they say place a marker at stitch 36, and they say to place one at stitch 125. So let's pretend this here is stitch 136. I place my marker right after it. So I'm going to start with the directions, and the directions say to knit 34. So that's 2 stitches to the right of the marker. And then it says to perform a decrease. And so the decrease that we're going to be doing is slip 2 together knitwise, knit 1, pass 2 slip stitches over. That is one of the suggested decreases. And this is the one that I chose, so we'll go ahead and demonstrate this one. Knit 34, and so and that's 2 stitches before the marker. So here we go. Coming up, and here we go. I'm 2 stitches before the marker now. So what I'm going to do, first thing I'm going to do is slip 2 together knitwise. And so I'm going to insert my right needle to the left of these 2 stitches, and I'm going to slip them. I'm going to insert the needle kind of like I'm doing a knit 2 together, but instead of knitting them together, I'm just going to slip them over to this right needle. I'm going to remove my marker. There it goes. Let me get this out of the way for you. So I removed my marker, and now I'm going to knit the next stitch. And then I'm going to reach over on the right needle and pick up those 2 slipped stitches to the right of the stitch I just knit, and I'm going to lift them over that knit stitch, and that gets rid of 2 stitches. Then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to replace it on the needle, and I'm going to continue working the rest of the row. Now you have 2 options when you work the back side of the garment. Now just bear in mind that you're only doing increases and decreases on the right side of the work. Anytime you turn the work to the back side, you're going to be knitting the stitch. You're not going to be doing any increases and decreases on the back side. So I just finished a right side row. That was my double decrease, and you'll see there's like a little bump there. And now I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to work on the back side. If you want to, you can just go ahead and you can knit every single stitch on this, on the needle, on the back side. No increases or decreases. If you want to, though, if you would like to have a prominent stitch in the middle to make kind of a ridge of the increases and decreases, this is what it would look like. This is the ridge up here. If you would like that sort of effect, then what you're going to have to do is on the back of every increase or decrease, you're going to need to purl that stitch so it pops out as a knit on the right side. So I'll show you how to do that. What you'll do is you will work knits up until your marker. I'll do that here for you. All the way up to the marker, you just knit. And what you want to do is you want to purl on the back side of that decrease that you did. So you slip your marker and you're going to go ahead and purl that stitch. And then go back to knitting the rest of the row. Okay, so you just finished the back side, and then you'll turn over, and on the next row you're going to have to do another decrease. This time, same as before, you're going to knit up until 2 stitches before the marker, and then you're going to do a decrease. So let me knit up to there. So now I'm 2 stitches before my increase. Now, the nice thing about doing the purl stitch on the back and making this knit stitch ridge here is you can see the center stitch very easily this way. And so when you start your decrease, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be slipping together that knit stitch and the stitch before it. So you always know that this is going to be the first of the 2 that you're going to slip, that knit ridge. So slip those 2 together, drop your marker, knit the next stitch, and then reach your left needle over to the 2 slip stitches and lift them over the knit stitch, and you have your double decrease. Now don't forget to put your marker back, and then you're going to finish knitting the rest of the row. I believe the other double decrease, you slip 1, knit 2 together, and pass the slip stitch over. It gets a little more fiddly with moving the markers if you do that. So that's why I chose this method here. And so when you turn it over and you work on the back again, you're going to knit up to the marker. And I'll show you a little trick too. You're going to knit all the way up to the marker. Now, what you might want to do, just for sanity's sake until you get used to it, is you want to purl the stitch, that center stitch. So just to be sure you're doing the right one, you can turn your work over and you see the knit stitch ridge. You know this is the stitch that you need to purl. So it's nice having that knit stitch ridge because it really does give you a visual cue as to where the decreases are happening. If you don't want to do that knit stitch ridge, that's fine. You'll be able to see the decrease stitch, but it won't be as prominent to you. So that is that. I believe that covers this decrease. And if you look at it now, you can see that nice knit stitch ridge up the middle. And come back for the next video. I believe that's number 2014. And that's going to show how to do the increases on this same swatch. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.